Okay, so we're going to draw the EBLIP process. So just imagine we're having a cup of tea or coffee and we're sitting down to have a chat about evidence-based practice. And one of the ways in which I sometimes like to explain things is actually just to show people. So I like to draw things. I just find it a bit easier. Hopefully this is helpful for you. So we've got our EBLIP process where we start at articulate, we assemble, and then we assess and weigh up the evidence, and then we agree or apply. An earlier version of the EBLIP process actually had apply until we later found out about the dynamics of teams and the decision making that happens in that context. So it was changed to agree, and then adapt. So we have this ongoing EBLIP process. We've got the 5 A's happening here. And then at each stage of the process, right, there is a decision, a task that happens. So at the end of articulate, we have a decision about, you know, what is the question? What is the question? And then at assemble, we have tasks around assembling that evidence. We have decisions that are made about system configurations and how we're going to gather those evidence types and reports and things. And there might be some questions there along the way that we need to figure out. And then assess. There are questions here as well about the weight of the evidence that we're going to give in our decision making. And then we have, you know, decision-making crunch time, I call it. So this is where we make a decision around what is going to be our way forward here. And there are questions there. What is the best decision that we can make in light of the evidence? And then adapt, which is where we evaluate and really where the big reflection happens within the process, because we're looking at what worked and what didn't work. And then that goes back to the start again. So where then reflective practice happens is at every stage of the process. So we're reflecting upon this decision about what is the scenario or what is the problem, which leads on to the next. And then we go through this process again, which leads us to assess. And then we might reflect on the decisions and the tasks and questions in this stage, which leads us to the next. And then here we are again to adapt, which leads us back to the start. This reflective practice happens and is an integral part of the EBLIP process. And at every stage of the process, each time we go through this process of reflection, we're taking notes. We're gathering clues along the way as to how we can make it better, how we can make the most of this process. And there you have it. That is the role of reflective practice in the evidence-based practice process.